and welcome from Brussels. This is Seven Live.
Seven Life.
Let's
Hello,
go.
hello, everybody. So, as you can see, today we are here. We took over the Seven Live. Phil is not there, and we say, okay, now today we're going to do a Seven Live, especially very technical, but with parts that we really love. That's why we have here Antonin and Daniel, and even Nico
Oh,
is going to join. We have a big surprise for the end. Maybe Daniel, you can show a little bit of it because we're going to reveal something just a bit, just a bit.
I got
hey.
something here.
There we
What
go.
is this?
Nice.
We don't know. We don't
Stay
know.
tuned for the end.
Yeah, only the at the end, so you need to watch the full video. And actually, today we're going to talk mainly about well, it's going to be about different things, but it's mostly about new trends and new innovations that are happening. I think we are in the middle of a big wave of innovations that are permitting us to interact with machines in a very different way, meaning AI, meaning the VR, the augmented reality, the mixed reality. There are plenty of names that are there connected and all that. And we are testing all of it. In the team, we are starting to do really cool projects with some of our clients. We are all the time trying to go to the border to see how we can shape new things, how we can engage with audiences on different ways. And one of them is actually right now is the AI. Is one of the big things. We had the robots, Pepper. We had it in at certain events, and we have been also experimenting with graphics in the with supported by the AI. And for that, our big expert is Antonin. So, Antonin, tell us, there are new things coming.
So many, so many. Like you were saying, is just, I mean, now it really feels like it's the time where everybody's pulling all their efforts into like, what are they able to do? What are they able to bring as value through AI? And you have all the big players in the tech world that are really bringing a lot of effort, a lot of investment into this. Of course, one of the big ones is Adobe. Adobe Max happened recently. I was very excited to watch this, and there was a lot of really, really amazing things that they talked about, things that they're already doing and that they're implementing into the tools that we use every day. So in Photoshop, in Illustrator, in Premiere, for example. So Photoshop, of course, we have generative fill. They have now put in beta the second, let's say, version of their algorithm. So their image to model, it's better. Of course, they need to still play a little bit of catch up behind models like Midjourney or DALL-E 3. DALL-E 3 also came with a big update and really, really upped their quality. So there's a lot of players right now that are really, let's say, battling for really the control and the attention of the people that want to generate, the creative people that are going to take those tools and really go the next step and start using it. Another update that was really, really interesting was generative, let's say, vector. So you can generate vectors now in Illustrator. So that's a very first kind of, let's say, iteration of the tool that they brought. I would say there are some moments where it's really, really impressive. Other moments where it's a bit, okay, you can feel it's a bit of a first generation, but very, very impressive nonetheless. And then on the Midjourney side, just recently, just yesterday, they brought in actually an upscaler, so directly integrated into Midjourney. This is really something that now is going to make a difference when you want to bring your Midjourney images to, like, for example, a printed version. So that will be able to make that much easier. Of course, before you had to use something like, for example, Gigapixel. Topaz Gigapixel was one of the bigger ones, but it's another tool that you have to use. So having more integration is kind of the name of the game now. So yeah, those are a little bit, very quick updates, of course, and there things are evolving super, super a lot. Hi, Justin. So yeah, very excited times to have right now.
And I'm wondering, Antonin, because for those who are not too much into this, they know,
Yeah.
maybe they heard that something is happening with AI,
Yeah.
because obviously it's everywhere. But the point is that imagine that I'm running a campaign,
Okay.
or I'm starting a campaign. Uh, uh, im- what happens is, for example, I say I would like to brand that campaign, maybe create some assets already.
Okay.
Are we there already in a situation that all these new tools help me, for example, to create already assets, or or the brand, or even the copy for the
Mm.
social media assets? Are we there already?
For me, I think if we're not already there, we're like very, very, very close for all these tools to start really working together. From our side, it's really something that is, let's say, making our creative approach even more creative, right? So it's really a tool that we actually can already use now, and we are actually already using. A great example of this was the EU Influencer event that we just did, where we did an AI corner, created images for the people there directly, and then people were reposting it. Even John Worth reposted his image. So it's really something that becomes really an extension of your creativity, and the people that are already with a creative mindset, that know how to use already tools that were already existing, it just makes them even more creative. So
But
for me,
is it for people who already have a basis on that? Hi, Phil says hi from
yeah,
Mumbai. Hi, Phil. You see what we're doing with Sudden
I
Life
feel
today. So my question is, how do people, do they need to have a level of knowledge in terms, and that's also maybe to Daniel, because
Mm,
Daniel, you are managing the social media creation of
mm,
assets and all that. You are overviewing that also with copywriters, with the
mm,
designers. How is these new tools supporting in the creation, on the flow of the creation of assets?
yeah.
How do we implement that?
So I do think that AI, as a little bit building on what Antonin was saying, is a big booster of productivity and creativity. So, I mean, basically, I mean, what it comes, for example, for video creation, and that is quite exciting what Adobe has been presenting this week and past week during Adobe Max, is that it is really helping to basically solve a lot of problems that we before we had to solve them in a very stressful and complicated way, and not always sometimes was giving we were able to reach the optimal results that we were looking for. Now, for example, there are AIs that they clean completely the audio. They can even separate audio from music background in a very clean and amazing way. But I mean, what it comes from social media content creation, I think that AI here, what it helps a lot is mainly on brainstorming, but mainly also on being able to create images that before you weren't able to create. Because many times on social media, you are depending a lot of many times on the stock bank websites,
Mm,
and we were able struggling on trying to find the very perfect image many times, right? Now
mm,
with AI, actually with the image generative artificial intelligence, that kind of obstacle is more less and less present,
mm,
which is amazing, because then, I mean, the less obstacles you have, the more room you will have in order to invest more time on creativity, on thinking, on trying to see like, okay, how more can we sharpen this? How far can we go with this?
yeah.
And
But
that's actually one of the things that is very promising of AI, in my opinion, because right now we are seeing many trends in terms of memes of what AI is possible to do. But I think that the many great things that we will see, especially in the field of art and creativity and design, there are still, I mean, we cannot even imagine how things are going to be changed.
yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. And actually, there was some weeks ago, Meta also announced the creation of a series of specific AIs, even with personalities, which is really amazing. I think that that can bring then the possibility of creating kind of not anymore chatbots, but
Mm,
characters that are implemented or being in virtual spaces. They're welcoming whoever is the visitor, and then guiding them through the stories. I'm more thinking then about the connection of AI with VR, which is something that is little by little happening. Always AI has been related to VR, because on games, for example, the bad guys, those were AI driven, of course.
yeah.
But now more and more, the interaction with these kind of elements can be much more efficient. Actually, lately, and that's something that I wanted also to discuss with you guys. We are working more and more in projects on virtual reality with some of our clients. There is with EUSPA, we're doing a really cool application with satellites and all that that will be launched very soon. So actually, we are very excited and waiting for that to be launched. We're doing some other projects, for example, with Coca-Cola. We're doing, and we see that there are applications like a special, for example, or even the metaverse of Meta, that for a while was everybody was against it, but we start seeing how there are many of games that are being created inside, and where many and many people are more and more joining. This is starting to get a feeling of evolving, also because it's open now to browsers. Also, like Meta is opening to the browsers. Actually, we wanted to share today one of the spaces that we have created as a demo. I don't know, maybe Antonin, you can share that.
Sure.
Because, so voila, maybe you can go through it.
Yeah. So we just did a little like quick test, basically to see, specifically on spatial. Of course, there's lots of different platforms, but spatial, the nice thing is that, as Jesus was saying, you can see it in VR, and you can see Nico, our production coordinator here.
Hi, Nico.
Hey.
So that's the nice part, is you can have that social element. You can hear the people. You can actually even see them. They can create an avatar for themselves that is, then they customize to themselves, right? And you can then go, and do different things. You can, for example, teleport yourself from one place to another. You can go and then collect, different little things. For example, you want to collect those little ZN ones. You can go then up here, collect, and then you have this maybe interaction where you need to collect all of them, for example. So lots of different opportunities to kind of gamify all of this. You can press for like a certain particle effect, and you can create lots of different things.
Nice.
Platforms that let you, go up and down. There we go. For example, you can customize all your space to have your own branding. You can have doors that open. You can have certain elements, for example, these kind of elements where you press on something and then create certain things. So there's so many possibilities that you can then have, to create little elements of story. So this is just a quick test that we did just to show a little bit the capabilities. But yeah, it's really exciting, and we're really, really happy in the way that this is expanding and the kind of capabilities that you can have in terms of storytelling.
Exactly. And I think the interesting from this also is the fact that then you have the feeling of a presence, because you can see there Nico. Actually, Nico is not beside you, but you feel him just beside yourself. You can have several people coming to an event on the space. You can then drive the different audiences on different spaces depending on what you want to tell. So I think there is a huge potential here. There are events that are running nowadays into this. So I think there is a lot that can be done with these kind of things. Really cool. We will soon be showing some of these projects that we're developing for our clients, which I think is going to maybe give inspiration to some other people that follow us. Hey, Natalia say, in the last month, I have barely used stock imagery, to be honest. I mostly use AI for generating much easier my ideas, especially at the more conceptualizing stage. I think it's true. And Natalia works with you too quite often.
Exactly. Yeah. A lot of our brainstorming is really powered by AI, I would say right now, because you have an idea, you're able to kind of visualize in your head what you want. And now you're really able to kind of much more easily transmit that into an image. And now with the newer models, and they're getting better at really understanding what you want and generating an image that is actually in the style that you would want. So it lets you really explore and generate a lot of ideas very, very quickly.
Exciting. And actually, I think maybe, I don't know what you think, Daniel, because there is something that I'm looking forward, because we have been talking about Meta. Meta just announced 1-2 weeks ago something new, and we are so lucky that we have some of them at the office. So show us, Daniel, what do you have there?
Yes, you're totally right, Jesus. So the moment has come. Dun, 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 dun. Boom! Here we have it. The MetaQuest 3 headset, VR headset.
So cool.
Amazing.
Hey, nice. So are we going to do an unboxing of
unboxing?
Exactly. So let's undress this guy first. Let me see.
I think maybe you have something to peel. You need to peel it. I think on the other side.
Yes.
Maybe? No.
Mm.
In this side. Voila,
Yeah.
Oh,
there.
yeah. There are, first of all, there are these two strips on
Packaging
each side.
design.
Packaging design. No, I really like the packaging from Meta, and actually, I see an improvement from the previous version, the previous Meta Quest 2, because the Meta Quest 2 packaging was twice this size,
Indeed.
and they decided, I don't know if they were able to compress it, but yeah, this packaging design looks much better. So
Yeah.
now,
Nice.
we take out this.
The ones of the Quest Pro were also really big. True.
So here we have it written
Nice.
MetaQuest 3, and I'm going to proceed to open the box. Pam, pam, pam.
Wow.
Here we have them.
Wow.
Very
Okay.
nice.
Cool show. I'm wondering, how do you feel with the controllers? Maybe
So
a bit beside so we can see the interior. Yeah. How are they? Show, because
yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. It cannot remain open, but yeah, I would say with the previous version with MetaQuest 2, they have this kind of ring over it. Now these ones, they don't have it anymore. The controllers are a little bit smaller, but way more handier.
Cool.
I would say the pad, the design of the pad is way different, but it still has the meta button that is for accessing to the main menu. Then it has a B and A button. Then it has a joystick, and then has the frontal button and then the side button that basically is for doing different kind of interactions in the VR world.
They still keep it with batteries apparently, and in the side now you have a little button to open it, which is different from the previous.
Yeah, I don't know if you see it, but here you have a arrow thing, a strip. So basically, if I pull from it, it will release the batteries to function.
So there is a little button at the top of the thing to open the batteries apparently. So
yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah, true. Here,
so
right here on this corner.
Cool innovation, because before was difficult to open it and there were people struggling and all that. So that's cool.
Now, you just click on the button, and then like this, you can open nicely the battery holder.
Great job, Meta.
So very nice product design indeed. Now, but the headset, which is the most important part.
You know what?
So
I'm at home, but I feel like going to the office now.
Yes. You feel like trying it.
So here we have the headset. Here's the inside. This is the frontal side. Jesus, I'm wondering, these three guys here, for what are they?
So actually, those ones have the cameras. Right now, the cameras have better resolutions than the Pro. Actually, so it means that the pass-through, that is what permits you to see outside. And then with those cameras, you can see now in colors in much better quality. Still, there are some little deformations when things are very near. It's normal, and they think by software they will adjust that, but it's true, and that's one of the things I want to test, that apparently the pass-through is much better than the one that you have in here. You remember on the Quest 2 was in black and white. And then in the middle, they didn't put it on the Pro. In the middle here, the Quest 3 have one of the biggest innovation, which is the depth sensor. So it's a sensor that permits you then to automatically scan the space where you are. So that means, because right now you need to make a scanning with your controllers or the hands, and now automatically, just by looking around, it has a clear view of how the space is, which is really cool. And that's one of the things I really want to say. Yeah. Can you show us the lenses? Because apparently the lenses are pancake.
From inside, you mean?
Yeah, they're the same as the.
They're more or less the same. The shape it changed. I mean, also another thing that brings my attention is that this headset, in comparison with MetaQuest 2, is way smaller, a little bit smaller. The foam that protects the visor, I mean, basically where you rest your face in order to see through the lenses, it has a different material. It looks more comfortable, more softer from my
And there are
point of
people
view.
complaining about that thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I saw some, and apparently the thing that you put here on the back
The
now
strap.
has 3 elements.
Yeah, the
You see,
straps. Yeah,
3 points of that apparently makes it a bit more comfortable than the second one.
Okay.
So
yeah.
that's really cool.
There are
So
also then also I think there is like a wheel button here on the bottom part. I guess this is for the volume, and then there is another button here that I think it would be for connecting the. I know there is another button here that I feel is the one for connecting the headset.
yeah,
Here there is another long button. I don't know for what is it, and then there is a wheel button here.
I think
But
it's
yeah,
for the volume, maybe the volume to closing it. So I think those are
hmm
for that. Phil says that he's loving to see the unboxing, and then also we have there like Thomas that is saying that there was an interview with Mark Zuckerberg and Lex Friedman. Yes, I watched that interview. It's really cool
Same.
what the
Super
avatars that
cool.
they're creating. Really nice. Hopefully soon we will have it. The difficulty of that is the fact that you require a long scanning of the
Yeah.
face to get to that level.
Yeah, and they were saying that you
Mhm.
needed potentially in the future they could have something where you just do it with your phone. Yeah, hopefully.
So I think we can go to the recommendations because we don't have much time. Before the recommendation, I would like to say if you are watching this and you like this kind of sudden life, where we some from time to time we come with some new trends and all that, let us know in the comments. So like this, we know, and then maybe we do some of these like from time to time. But now I don't know what you think, guys. We go for the recommendation.
Sure,
Yeah.
let's do
Let's
it.
go.
Okay, so let's start with you, Daniel. Your recommendation of the day.
So my recommendation, I think I already talked about this one in the past, but anyway, as we are talking about AI, I think it's very worthy to refresh it or to talk about it if if it's the first time. It is a book that is called Prompt: Conversations with the AI, with Artificial Intelligence. It's a book from Dave McKean. And who is this guy? Who is Dave McKean? So basically, Dave McKean, he's a legendary concept artist. He was known mainly because in the 90s he was in charge of designing the book covers and illustrating the book covers of The Sandman. That is a very famous comic book series from the 90s till early 2000s, created by the amazing creative mind of Neil Gaiman. Which actually last year in Netflix it had a TV show adaptation that was amazing, mind blowing. I fully recommend also to watch that show. And actually, what is interesting about Dave McKean's work is that he, as a concept artist, he has this style that is sort of onirical, a bit dark fantasy. He's on that kind of field. So it is quite interesting to see how, let's say, an old school concept artist has an interaction with a modern technology, as it was his case. I think he was doing experiments with Midjourney, but also with the Stable Diffusion, and what kind of insights he was able to take out from all this experience. So very interesting book. I personally couldn't read it yet, but I aim to do it. But everybody say that it's a very interesting book, and especially coming from the mind of Dave McKean, is something that is really worthy to read.
Okay, good.
Nice.
Antonin.
All right. So my recommendation for this week is a YouTuber actually called Matt Wolf. So his YouTube channel basically focuses on AI. Big surprise. So yeah, great kind of presenter on everything AI news related. Does really a nice kind of weekly recap of what's happening in the AI world, and also lots of nice little things that are, let's say, around. So for example, the latest ChatGPT updates, or for example, everything that is like AI depth. For example, how is that going to change everything? Who is the king of AI images, for example? That was a recent one that he did. So yeah, very interesting person. I mean, there's a whole sphere of YouTubers that are talking about AI that is really growing quite a lot. So yeah, look out for that space and people that are connected to that, because they're going to become basically people that are going to have huge audiences. he didn't start that long ago, and he already has nearly like half a million subscribers. So yeah, growing very
Oh,
fast.
okay. Wow. For me, just to finish, I'm quite interested about the generative AIs, and we see a lot of text generative tools and also image generative. But I'm testing the text to 3D, which is, I think,
Mm,
is a next step and very useful, because sometimes when you are generating spaces like what we were seeing on spatial or some interactions, you want them to have some elements or a particular character and all that. So there is Masterpiece X, which who are experimenting on that and creating. They have created a tool that is really cool for that.
nice.
So I advise you guys to go and check, because then you just write what you would like to see, a character running whatever, and then suddenly you get the character there and you can adjust. So really
And your
interesting.
process, Jesus, after that is to take that into like
You
any
export.
3D kind of thing,
You
right?
can export it then, and then once you have the objects, you can upload it to whatever the platform that you want.
Nice.
You know that the ones of spatial, we do it through Unity, for example. So then you can implement it on Unity, give it some kind of movement with some interaction, and then from there suddenly you have a character saying hi and talking to you, for example.
Nice. Super cool.
So really cool, yeah. So voila, I think this is more or less for today. As you can see, this is a kind of format where we're bringing tools and elements that are making your communication more effective. Thank you, Phil, for saying that. So that means, guys, that maybe we come here from time to time with some new
Be
ideas.
pleasure.
At least to make dream, because this is what we always, to try to go one step ahead, we need to dream, and these tools make us dream for sure. So okay, see you next week here at 7 Live. Bye bye.
Bye guys.
Bye.